Okay, I am unmuted and we are on record. Okay, perfect. Welcome everybody to our Monday night team call. I am so excited tonight to introduce a very dear friend and colleague of ours, Caprice Crebar, who is a senior sales coordinator on Lisa's team, Direct to Lisa. And she has been a sideline buddy for me for, 10 years now. And it's just been, it gets better and better each year. So I don't remember, Caprice, if it was your room that I crashed the first conference I went to, but I kind of feel like maybe it was. With like Larry and, it was, everyone was like shaking up shaker bottles. And I was like, oh, I don't do shakes.
I remember.
I was such a dork. What am I thinking, But 5 days in the business and I had just received my product that day. So if you can imagine, going to conference does make a big impact, people. Just want to throw that out there. But before we get going, I just wanted to encourage everybody, if you haven't gotten a paper and a pen, I definitely think you should do that tonight. I know that there's going to be, this is kind of an interactive call. Caprice is going to take about 15 minutes or so and talk through some strategies on what it looks like to network in a professional setting with this career, with this job. And one of the things I love so much about Caprice is that she really does treat this so professionally. And, she's all, looking beautiful tonight as I come in my sweaty gear from the day. I can learn a lot from her, I see.
But typically I'm looking sweaty.
No, I'm just teasing. But there's so much, and I love to hear her in front of the room. I love to hear her messaging. She has such a great way of attracting good quality people. And that's something that we all need to get really good at. It's such an incredible skill when you can, like we say all the time, fall in love with the process and really put yourself out there in new venues in a comfortable way that you can be attractive to other people. That's really the easiest way to do this job. It's kind of hard when it's a lot of cold calls and that kind of stuff. It's not fun, But if you can create that energy around you, then you can have lots of fun, build lots of friendships, and be very successful. And so that's why I asked Caprice to come on tonight, and I'm going to let her take it away. And if you guys are inspired or you think of anybody as she's talking, I just really encourage you to write those names down because that's where it all starts from. Okay, so I'll turn it over to you. Yeah.
Well, I have to say ditto back to Melissa. Melissa's one of my favorite people on earth and in the Juice Plus company. And I have just been blessed by her. I look up to her. She's a mentor to me, probably more so than almost anybody in this business. So I've learned a ton. And I basically say whatever Melissa does, I follow. She's really, really good. But how many of you are networking today, like participating in any networking groups? Great. Marie? Lisa? Great. Okay, well, it's a great start. And how long have you been in the business, Marie?
Not quite 3 years.
How about you, Lisa?
A year and a half.
Okay, well, good. So I was about 3 years into my business where I felt like I had exhausted my warm market. So of course we want to reach out to everyone we know. We've got that memory jogger, and the first thing that we do when we start our business or when we're starting someone else in the business is to have them write down all of the people they can think of, not judge anybody, but just throw down names. And when I was about 3 years into the business, I really felt like I'd gone through like all my friends and family. Lots of people got on Juice Plus. Well, we're always going to have those people that are stubborn and don't for whatever reason right away. But I had invited all the same people enough times. So at that point, like Marie, kind of where you're at, and Lisa, you're starting a little bit early, which is great because the more people you put into your funnel sooner, the better. Because this business is, I know Melissa's pounded home with you, it's a numbers game. It's how many people can we talk to and share this gift with and share our business with. So the more people we're talking to, the more no's we're going to get, but also the more yeses we're going to get. And eventually, in my experience, being in this as long as I have, a lot of your no's are one day going to come to you asking you for Juice Plus. So don't ever lose hope on anyone. Just put them in the back of the line and pursue the people that are ready now. So what I did is I decided I was going to expand my warm market and meet new people. So what I did is I went to a internet site called Meetup. Is anybody familiar with Meetup? So meetup.com, I was going to try to screen share, but I can't do that right now. It's one of my favorite places to go, and I'm going to show you or share with you how to use it. But before I do that, I want to share with you what my goals were and what they still are today as it relates to networking. So my goals were, number one, to expand my warm market. Number two was, how was I going to do that? By consistently meeting new people to share Juice Plus with. Number three, third goal was to cultivate new relationships to earn trust. And number four is make new friends. My philosophy is friends first. And so even when I go to networking groups, I actually host my own networking group now. I have for the last 10 years, but when I do that, I always emphasize this is friendship first.
Caprice, I hate to stop you, would you repeat those? Because those were so good. I was trying to write it down.
So my goals were expand my warm market, doing that by consistently meeting new people to share with. Number three, cultivate new relationships to earn trust. Number four, make new friends out of those relationships. And number five, find your power partners. So with those goals in mind, I one day said, I need to expand my warm market. I need to meet new people. So I discovered meetup.com, and that was back in the very early days, and I still depend on it as one of my key tools for locating groups to participate in. So I don't know if you could screen share, Melissa. Can you screen share meetup.com? So while she's looking for that, it's a space on the internet, a tool where you can just plug in your city. You could plug in women's networking and all of the local networking groups that are available to you that are most people who have groups put them on Meetup. You can find things that are in your area. That you can go to. Some of them are free. Thanks, Greta. Some of them are for a fee. But you could find groups, even like there's a lot of free fitness groups. There's cooking groups. There's, if you've got something that you enjoy doing, let's say you like to hike. There's a ton of hiking groups on there. So you could just put your city hiking groups, and there they will pop up. And most of those are free. So you can very easily insert yourself into a whole new group of people that you can follow these goals with, cultivate the relationships, make new friends, find power partners.
Okay, so, can you guys see that?
Yes. So Melissa's pulling that up. So it looks like you're on the phone, right?
I am.
Okay. Yeah. So this is what it looks like, and what you would do is you can go on your desktop. It looks different than this. On the desktop, you can go right into search. So here, it's just showing you some things. You're going to have to sign up, it looks like.
I see. Okay.
Or download the app. I'm sure when you download the app, then it probably looks more like the website. And you're just going to see right up at the top where you enter your city and you plug in your subject. So I encourage you after this call sometime this week to just go to meetup.com and do that. Search around. What are your interests? What do you want to learn about? And join those groups and attend some of those groups. There's also social groups. There's people that are just like girls' night out. It's a local bunco group or things like that. Any of those types of things is where you're going to meet new friends and cultivate new relationships that then once they consider you a friend, you are going to have a much easier time, learning about what their needs are and sharing Juice Plus as a solution. So take that as an assignment, because that's going to make a big difference in giving you lots of ideas and opportunities to get involved and meet more people. The number two way that I like to do this is participating in organizations. How many of you are involved in like nonprofit groups and things like that? Maxine? Great. It does take time, and I know some people have full-time jobs, so some of you may not be able to participate as often, but there are groups on the weekends. There's then I'm going to talk a little bit about online groups, but take a look and see if there's anything that fits into your time frame, but get involved. A lot of the nonprofit groups, like I'm involved with an organization called Community Outreach Alliance that helps keep teens off drugs and gives them safe and sober activities that are free. And there's all kinds of opportunities to even speak as a healthy speaker. But I'm really, they know me, and I've had an opportunity to share Juice Plus with people. There's other Juice Plus ameners in there. So again, it's just another way that you can get involved in a group where you're genuine and people see you as someone with integrity. And then you've expanded your warm market and have more people to help their health with. The third idea is online groups. So how many of you participate in any online health groups, things like groups where they're talking about health and wellness? Okay, so that's an opportunity. Greta, that's a little tricky, but if you have the best way to do that is if you have, let's just say you've got a health issue per se. Let's just say your child has, God forbid, ADD or something, or whatever, something else. And a lot of people, that's more common now, unfortunately. But let's just say you had something where, like Crohn's disease or something like that. You could go search on Facebook, Crohn's disease, and there'll be all kinds of groups that pop up. And you could join that group. It's better if in groups where you actually have some kind of association or tie to that specific ailment or whatever, because then you could be a genuine participant in the group. And when you're a genuine participant in the group, people, again, it's relationship building, but it's just online. They trust you. They start to know who you are. I'm involved in several mommy online groups, and you find out really quickly that you can't be promoting your product on there. It's so interesting. If I go on and I promote, let's just say my child never gets sick, these gummies are great, or whatever, you get bombarded with people that just basically can be mean.
Yeah.
But if someone else tags you and they recommend you, check with Caprice. Somebody says, my kid's sick all the time, what should I do? And you've got like a power partner or somebody in that group, and they say, oh, I take Juice Plus, it's been awesome for my kids. I get mine from, and then she tags Caprice Crebar. That is amazing. Then you'll get a ton of people who say, how do I get it? Send me. So it's very interesting how that works. So you do have to cultivate relationships in groups. And in some of the mommy groups that I'm in, I also am a resource for things. So when people are asking questions, other kinds of questions, I actively participate in the group. It could be completely unrelated to Juice Plus. But if somebody says, I need a new pediatrician, who do you recommend? And then I go on there and I recommend my pediatrician. Nothing about Juice Plus. But the people that use those groups on a regular basis, they get to know everyone's names. So like I've been involved in some of those groups, and we're using them as a genuine participant, but also strategically. I'm known in these events. People don't even know me, and I'll have people will tag me, because someone asked about, what supplement should I use? And I don't even know this person. I've gotten customers that way because they weren't even a Juice Plus customer yet, and were tagging me because they know I'm the person that does Juice Plus. So just be careful about, when you join those groups, but just try to be as genuine and resourceful as possible, so that, again, you're earning people's trust, and they know you're not just in there selling.
Well, and like anything, you're building a relationship within the group, right? It just gives you a bigger forum of people to touch. Yeah.
Right. The fourth idea is, and I think this is a really important one, and this ties to power partners. So because I do a lot of networking and I meet a lot of people in health and wellness, I like to, number one, support other entrepreneurial women. So I find those people that align well with the Juice Plus product, and I'll do events with them. So, but they have to be people that are on Juice Plus. Like I won't do it with people that aren't on Juice Plus, but if they love Juice Plus and I I also love what they do, then we make great power partners, and they're out in the world referring me and I'm out in the world referring them. But even better is when we do joint events, they're inviting all their people, I'm inviting all my people, so now I'm exposed to all theirs and they're exposed to all mine. And there's no competition with our products. So for instance, I power partnered with a gym, yoga studio owner, and her and we do salad parties together. I've been exposed to so many people in their gym that now know me, trust me, because they trust Amy, and Amy's partnered with me, so I must be good, right? You know, and I must be trustworthy. So it's been a great funnel of new friends through that power partnership. I've got another power partner who's really successful, network marketer, and she works for a company that sells these nail strips. And it's just a really fun, simple little product, but women love it. And so when I partner with her and we do these smoothie and nail bars, and people come and we give them, she gives them, I hardly do anything. I just host the event, talk about Juice Plus, serve shakes, serve samples while she's giving manicures to all these women. So, they just love it. And it's given me an opportunity to bring more people into my home that may not want to come just to hear a wellness presentation. Or maybe I've invited them 10 times to come hear a doctor speak, and for whatever reason they won't come, yet they'll come to get their nails done. So you just kind of have to find creative ways to attract people into your realm so then you can create relationship, share Juice Plus. And so I encourage you to find those kind of people. So if you have customers in your customer base that are entrepreneurial women, and you might want to just think about which ones might be a good power partner. If they're active in their business and they're good inviters like we are, and they're going to invite as many people as you invite, then they make a good power partner, and it's a great opportunity. So those are like the key ways that I network. Let me see, did I have anything else? I'll just end on, and you definitely don't need to be a leader of a networking group, but I 10 years ago, like 9 years ago, I actually started to run a chapter for the HeartLink Network, which is a great networking group. If you want to search heartlinknetwork.com and see if there's a HeartLink Network in your neighborhood. It's a fantastic international women's networking group. It's actually one of the first networking groups I was introduced to, and it was brand new back then. So when I went on meetup.com looking to start networking for the first time, I happened to go to a HeartLink network that was brand new. And when I was there, it just had like a feeling of integrity. The women seemed very eager to hear what I had to offer. It felt mutual. And that's what's nice about women's networking groups. And I'm involved in some co-ed ones too, but women network in a different way. We want to communicate over a meal. We talk more. We like to socialize. We like to do business, heart to heart. And when we trust somebody, we feel good about working with them and recommending them. So when I was in this networking group, this slogan came to me in the group, which was, this is a group of entrepreneurial women with a mutual respect and desire to support one another. And that doesn't mean you have to buy everyone's product, because support could be in the way of referring somebody to them. There's a ton of people in my group that still come after 10 years that I've never bought their products. But there's just camaraderie. There's lots of ways you can support someone. So as soon as I got that feeling, I called that very day to see if there was a chapter in my city. So there was, because it was new. So I've been running the Laguna Niguel chapter for 10 years. And I literally, because people know me now because of that, I've got 2 meetings a month, and 50 to 60 women come to my meetings a month. So, it's, again, you could accomplish that by going to other meetings, but, if you ever feel like that's something you want to do, it's, you know, it has led me to a lot of people, because they come to me and they come every month. And there's new people coming in every month too. So you want to be participating in groups where there's new people every month. So I'm not a huge fan of BNIs or, you know, things like that, because they're groups that the same people are locked in. There's one person per category, and you've got to refer people to that one plumber or that one hairdresser. And I believe that it's abundance mentality. There's plenty of business to go around. And if you have one jewelry person in a group, they're going to be not 100% of people in the group are not going to buy from that one person. So I open it up to multiple people in a category, only one per business, but find groups where every month there's people that are loyal to the group, but then there's also, you know, 3 to 5 new people every month. So that's how I decide, you know, what groups I'm going to go to. And I go to I don't go to that many. I just have mine and 1 or 2 others. And I don't always go to the others every single month. So you got to be careful, because some of those networking groups do cost money, and you want to make sure that your investment is paying off. You know, a lot of people, believe it or not, they do networking. They're in businesses and they're going to every networking group. I'd hate to see what their balance sheet looks like. You know, it's like, you don't have to go to every networking group. Just find the ones that are a good fit for you and that allow you to meet with people that like Juice Plus. But the other thing is, I encourage people to meet in between. So that's the last thing that I'll tip you on here, is that at my networking groups, I always encourage people, get phone numbers, schedule a meeting here, schedule your next meeting. I usually ask people, and I might do it that day, but you don't have time to get around to everybody that day, or I'll call them. And I'll say something like, you know, hi, Melissa, I met you the other day at OC Networkers, and I really loved your energy. You know, I would love to get together for a quick cup of coffee and just learn more about what you do. Would you be willing to meet with me this week? And I always ask them a question, you know, whether it's in text message or Facebook Messenger or face-to-face on the phone. You know, I always ask them the question, what's your availability this week? They're very responsive, because you said, I want to learn about you. I want to learn about what you do. And of course, they're in business, so, you know, they're all excited because somebody wants to learn about what they do. But I also say, you know, I'd love to learn about what you do, share what I do. I love to collaborate with other business women, and let's find out if there's a way that we could support each other. And people, you know, we get together over coffee. If you're somebody that works during the day and you're not flexible to have meetings during the day, then ask them if they'd be willing to jump on a Zoom with you. You know, you could use that same exact approach, except instead of a coffee, you guys jump on a Zoom. I do think there's great value in face-to-face. So if you could have a phone call over the phone, but to me that seems more like salesy or something. Like, I mean, personally, it just seems like, okay, let's have a quick phone call and see if we can do business together. It's harder to build that trust and that relationship that way. So, but I think Zoom is a very viable way to have a meeting. You could just each have your cup of coffee on the other end. And so, but yeah, so foster those relationships, cultivate them in between your networking opportunities, and do it quickly. Like, don't wait too long. But if you've met someone, don't wait more than 48 hours before to contact them, because they like to know that you've been thinking about them since you met. So that's another way to just make people feel good about having another conversation with you, where you can actually talk about doing business together in some way, whether that's signing up for Juice Plus, having an event together, finding out how you can refer them. But if you're helping them and you're genuine in that, then they're going to want to help you, and you might find a great power partner that way too. So that's it. Any questions?
Yay. I have like a whole page and a half of notes, and my dog came in and attacked me in the middle of that, so I'm so sorry if you saw the phone running around.
I didn't see it.
I took a couple notes. Two things that stuck out to me were something you just said at the end there, and I didn't write that part down. I think there's something really refreshing about talking to people who are in networking groups because they are business oriented and they're much more open to just having business discussions in general.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something so freeing about that, because when you're talking to your friends and your family, you can kind of get shut down sometimes. And so to be able to then alternate those phone calls with business, people, like it's just it gives you kind of a bump, to go back into the other ones.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find that to be true. And then in terms of the groups and stuff, I would just encourage you guys, like, look for things too in the meetups and the Facebook groups and stuff, like areas of interest, like Caprice was talking about, but also, it's easy, yes, to get into like the ailment groups, because I've gotten put into a couple of those sometimes from people who have those ailments and they're trying to help the people inside the group and they want to. But it also is hard because a lot of times when people are sick, they like to be tied up into that identity. So I try to look now, after doing that for a couple of years, I try to look for like granola mommies, like mommies that I know are like more like, holistic or whatever, anything with the holistic word or, like that kind of stuff, or like fresh raw produce or something, where it kind of gets you out into that more positive thinking, like in alignment, because that can tend to bring happier conversations.
Right. Yeah, you're so right.
But I'm going to be quiet. You guys, I know you have some questions, so who's first?
I'm curious what a BMI is.
Oh, BNI. It's I think it stands for like Business Networking International or something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a group that's been around for a very long time. You can find them in every city in the nation and around the world. And it's a networking group that's more expensive to join, and they only take one category. There can only be one nutrition person, one real estate person, one, jewelry person, and you're required to provide leads each meeting. And it's just it's a great way to meet people. And I've heard some people have success with them, but I prefer to have options. And I think in BNIs, it limits your options because you're supposed to be supporting that one person in your group. And I think that everyone needs an opportunity to, build rapport with people and not be forced to just work with one person in that field.
I totally agree.
Looked at Meetup for my area, and there's like a health and wellness group that had 50 people interested, but they're looking for an organizer.
Oh, okay.
That we should be jumping into the deep end of the pool, or is that a red flag?
So what that means is somebody just stepped down. A lot of people can create meetup groups, and then they throw something out there, but they're never consistent at it. There's you have to look at how many people are following. That's not enough people, in my opinion, to step up and lead it. But you also it costs about, I think, around $180 a year to have a meetup group. For me, that's well worth it. I actually, because I have so many people, I've got like 700 people in my membership on Meetup. But then I also promote the Juice Plus events through my Meetup too. So if you are a paying member, like I could go to that group and I could step up and take it over. But you'd have to be a member paying them $180 a year so that you can be a leader of groups. If it was something, I've done that before where somebody stepped down from a group that was 200 or more people, and I have stepped up to take ownership of those groups and start sharing Juice Plus events, like the doctor events and stuff. But there were a lot more people, so it was worth doing it. I think if they obviously they weren't doing much. They only got 50 followers, and they weren't probably actively working the group.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
Any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say that I liked how you kept saying power partner. So that just stuck in my head, is to find other people, because I'm in New York. So we have a lot of friends doing other types of businesses and groups like that. So that's just a great idea. And then I also am a member of a few different like mommy groups on Facebook. And I've learned, you have to be genuine and be in there. Same thing. I referred my dentist the other day, or a restaurant, or things like that. And then someone just mentioned about her hair today. So I mentioned omegas. Right. But it's hard because I don't think I could just put out there like Juice Plus and I sell it. So I kind of private messaged her because they have different rules.
You can't do that. You're right. But what you could do is you could find someone in the group that that you could private message and say, hey, I love doTERRA oils. I'm a huge user of doTERRA oils. You're probably aware of Juice Plus, but I'm looking for power partners in this group. So that if someone is asking about essential oils, I can refer you. And if someone's asking about supplements or nutrition, you can refer me.
Yeah, that's
you
smart.
Can create a couple of power partners like that within those kind of groups.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys could even everyone's so tight back home. Like, you could even create your own, like Moms from Amerenik, women-owned businesses or something group, where then it's almost like your own referral engine.
Well, this is like a Westchester County moms group.
Right.
And like, I know a lot of people in it, but I was just thinking like, I don't know that Danielle and Michelle and a lot of our members, Jen, I don't think they're in it. So again, if they come in it and then we can kind of learn how to smoothly cross-reference each other or whatever, then that would work.
Yeah.
That helps.
Lisa, I'm in it.
Oh, okay. So I posted tonight. Go on.
I try to be respectful to other Juice Plus people. Like if someone somebody tags somebody that's with Juice Plus and that person sees it and responds first, I'll usually will comment like to amen her and say that's awesome. I would definitely call Julie, because Julie's I know she's a great Juice Plus rep. And in that, then you're just amening somebody, and because I want to respect that they replied first and not be competing for that person.
I get it. The only thing, like with this one group, I don't even think they like when people, like if I even recommended another home-based business, I feel like everything they do is products sold in the market or whatever. So I don't know how they would feel. I'm kind of new, so I guess I should go back and read their rules. And
you just have to, it's on a case-by-case basis. You kind of have to feel the group, test the group out a little bit.
Lisa, what I do in that group is if anybody asks for something, I private message.
That's what I did. Okay.
And I always say, hey, so-and-so, saw your post on the Westchester Moms group about. So it's not some crazy stalker. I'm referencing how I came to be like reaching out to them.
And then I always say, if someone out, just reaching out to you, if someone else hasn't already, if you haven't already been contacted by someone that can help you, I'd love to be of help. And I usually say, I've been with the Juice Plus company 13 years and, I would be happy to answer any questions and help you, direct you to whatever you're looking for. And that way, you're not being this like hardcore salesperson. You're you have integrity and you're like, I know you got a lot of people commenting. If you've already been helped, awesome. But if not, I'm here to help you.
And another way to say that too is just, I saw your post, Jen, to your point and what you were saying, kind of make that introduction, the bridge on your private message, and then say, and I feel for you. Has anybody ever shared Juice Plus with you? Do you have any friends that are reps? And just kind of explore it that way. Then it's not you coming in like, here's my website, you can go on here and check it out, because that's where I think people get so affronted and feel bad about it. Whereas, if you come around the other way and you're really just reinforcing the solution, not the sale, then it gives them opportunity to ask questions. And
I didn't offer the sale until like she asked. I said, oh, this is what I take, this has helped me, blah, blah, blah. And then she said, oh, where can I get it? Did you get it online?
Right.
And that's where I was like, well, I'm, you know.
You can. Sure, you can get online. Here's my website.
Yeah. I didn't give out my website yet. Whatever.
Yeah. But I had an example. I don't know if I can screen share it from here, but I was sharing with somebody else the other day. Same thing. It was a conversation online. This woman was reaching out for help. She was she was really at the end of her rope. And it was because I asked her, I kind of made that case, has anybody shared Juice Plus with you? This is, if you have a friend, I encourage you to reach out to them. They can get the information from them. If not, I'm willing, and you're willing to hop on the phone, I'd be happy to talk with you. Right, Marie? Wasn't I sharing it with you? Yeah, I think I sent you that verbiage. And she was like, she did want to get on the phone. She couldn't believe that I was offering my time. And we talked for about, 45 minutes or so, and she really was in need, and seriously in need. And she just couldn't believe, and I offered a bunch of different, but my point is that she heard my heart right through that messaging. Right. So that's where you always want to go back to, is just, and if it gets a little wonky, you just back up and say, and it takes practice, right? And not everybody's going to hear it, because I said almost the same exact thing to somebody else and no response, right? But this particular woman was really. No,
but I like those 2 points. Have you heard of Juice Plus, or do you have any friends or family members or whatever?
But what Melissa said there, I want to amen, because you're right. The people that immediately send a private message with all their contact information, their website stuff, they don't reply. I learned that way back when. But what you said about don't provide them any information before you ask them if they jump on a phone call with you so that you can learn what their needs are and how you might best support them. Mm-hmm. But getting them on that phone call is, if you can do that, that would be A1.
Melissa, do you mind saying that again, what your verbiage that you gave to Marie?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up, because I took pictures of it. Hold on a second.
Can you put that on Voxer if you find it?
I can put it on, you know what, that's actually a better way. Let me put it on Voxer, because this girl actually may join our team. So I'd feel bad, because her name's on it. Let me try to black out the name and then put it out there. I can do that for sure. You guys can take a look. Yeah, no problem. And there's no perfect way. I just felt my way through it instinctually, just like you guys are going to do. It's all about responding to people, right? In the end, it's a people business. So, but again, going back to Caprice, and the reason we asked her to come on and do this is because you can see her heart, right, in everything she says. It just kind of pours right out of her. Even the fact that Caprice would join a network group called the Heartlink Network, makes so much sense. But that's what our mission is all about. And the more that we can connect to the mission and fall in love with the process, and the process is the work, right? It's doing the work. It's repetitive in nature. So you have to really love it, and you have to find ways to get creative and keep doing it a little bit differently. And, to span 10 years or more than that, it really does require the love and the passion for the work. And that comes from introducing yourself to new people on a continual basis, because as more people come through, it's the people that make it interesting. It's you guys that make it interesting. Right. There's a whole group of people that aren't even on the phone tonight, that pour in numbers to our team every month, that I'm so grateful for, and I talk to on a regular basis. But it's the new people that are constantly running through, and we're reliving every time we promote a DD or a VF or a sales coordinator, a new qualifier. Like, it's so exciting for leaders, because you're like, oh my gosh, again, like you get to relive it with them, and it's just speaking from, when you get to the top, you kind of go, oh gosh, okay, I want to start all over again, do it all over again, because it's like such an amazing journey, but that's fueled by conversations and fueled by people and interactions. So Caprice, thank you for all these incredible ideas. And if anybody if we're done with questions, I think we should let everyone go, because I know we're over time, but unless there's somebody else, I want to give you an opportunity, one last chance. Okay. Well, with that, thank you, Caprice. And
thanks for having me.
We're so grateful to have you.
If anybody has any questions afterwards, feel free to Vox for me.
Cool. Thank you.
Or at any time.
Thanks, Caprice. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Caprice.
Bye.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.